Companies that work with Sweet Baby Inc. instantly receive less sales, and it's really no brainer why. We do not want to support narrative consultation companies ran by people who hate our guts. And over the past couple of years, Devolver Digital has been partnered with SBI, and it seems like that's definitely continuing because now another game with these two has been revealed. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, they have been partnered for years. Devolver was actually one of the first names on the Sweet Baby Inc. partner page list. It was funny that this happened though, because just a couple of months ago, SBI wiped their website. They removed the partner page that's been up for years. They removed a bunch of the games that they had worked on, and it seemed that they were not going to really talk about their involvement in titles anymore, because the only way you'd be able to find out at that point is if you buy the game and you watch the credits, and then they've already got your sale and you've already played through the game, so they really don't care at that point if you know about their involvement in a title. But now it's actually seeming that a SBI employee kind of leaked this information and posted about it, thinking nobody would figure this out or talk about it or really pay attention. But another game has seemingly been revealed by the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel to be a recent project of Sweet Baby Inc., the controversial narrative design firm co-founded by Kim Belair. The game in question is called The Crush House, and it was developed by Nereal Ltd., which is most known for the strategy game Reigns. It was published by Devolver Digital, the company that of course put out games like Cult of the Lamb. SBI's alleged involvement was pointed out by the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel's hosts, Master of the TDS and Writing Raven, and the host identifies it as a potential Sweet Baby Inc. game when one of Belair's narrative designers admitted to working on the title on social media. I don't know if they thought nobody was going to pay attention or if this was more of a test, because we are closing in on 1 year since Gamergate 2 really began. So over the past couple of months, Sweet Baby Inc.'s social media has been private. The only person to really speak out has been Kim Belair, and it seemed that they were trying to fly under the radar again. So I think that there is actually a chance that this employee was basically told, you should release this information. You should say, oh, I'm so happy to be working on this game. And they do work at Sweet Baby to see maybe if there would be any major backlash or if people wouldn't really be paying attention. But at this point, every move Sweet Baby Inc. and their employees make is being monitored. So I just don't know what they were thinking if they did not want this information truly released. All they said was, I'm so proud to have been working on this game. It was such a joy. But another former Sweet Baby Inc. employee also noted involvement with the Crush House. Why is this important? Because, of course, SBI is a narrative design firm that injects DEI elements into games. Belair and many others have denied that this is the company's primary goal. However, past statements contradict this. I always think that this is so funny. It reminds me of the Alyssa Mercante article that was put out on Kotaku at the beginning of 2024 that said, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you believe they do, even though that's a complete lie. They do exactly what you believe they do. They take projects, they inject their personal bullshit into them, and they say, this is how you could make your product more inclusive. Why else would a company hire SBI if it wasn't to take their feedback into consideration? Let's just say, for argument's sake, Sweet Baby Inc. got $50,000 to work on the Crush House. You're not going to sit here and tell me that a company paid Sweet Baby $50,000 just to take none of their feedback into consideration. Like, that is absolutely absurd. And while, yes, they cannot force these developers to take their feedback into consideration, I'm sure that they do take SBI's feedback into consideration simply because most of the projects they work on are filled to the brim with activists. Activists wrote them, they designed them, they are promoting them, and well, Sweet Baby Inc. isn't going to just get away from their history of video games, which contains titles that are absolutely woke nightmares. It's so sad that we've reached this point, but when you see a game like Kill the Justice League, you instantly know Sweet Baby Inc. worked on it. When you see a title like Alan Wake 2, which sidelines Alan Wake for half the experience, you know that it is an SBI title. It's really not that hard to point these games out anymore, and Belair was furious over this. She's admitted that they wanted to fly under the radar, that they liked when people weren't paying attention to them, and that's exactly what they want to happen again, but it's not going to be so easy for them. Of course, when, Gamergate 2 had started and we were talking about KTJL, Belair had done previous interviews and they all started to surface where she encouraged game devs to go to their marketing teams and terrify them. If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups, she said. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. That is a full fucking quote. That is absolutely disgusting. That, oh, if you don't get your way, just terrify the people you're working with. Like, what kind of mentality is that? That is unhinged behavior. These people are lunatics, and that's why the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam list had blown up, and why so many people started calling out SBI and Black Girl Gamers and Hit Detection, all of the consultancy groups within the industry. If they acted more professional and they did higher quality work, people wouldn't have to constantly call them out. But when you now are trying to hide the projects you're affiliated with that you are working on, and you are telling people just terrify your coworkers, that's not going to sit well with a lot of people, and we are going to call you out on your BS. Now, the Crush House is a reality TV production simulator where the player takes on the role of a producer and camera operator trying to cast and subsequently film a group of scantily clad people in an attempt to capture drama and romance. So the average Netflix series. The player is encouraged in the game's trailer to keep the ratings up through their footage, and that even means like the spicier the better. You can have fights, you can have sex, you can do all of these things. But funny enough, the Crush House has an all-time Steam player count of 362, so a classic Sweet Baby Inc. game, a game that nobody actually cares about, nobody actually wants to play. So it is what it is, but this is why we sit here and call out companies who work with SBI, because they don't bring any players to your game, they're negatively altering them, and all you are doing is spending years working on a game that absolutely nobody wants to play. You could just make a game that's going to sell, but you decided not to do that. And this is just a classic case of the SBI, where it's seen that they didn't want people to pay attention to this game's existence, and this employee released this information, though now they're being called out and pointed and laughed at. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.